What if one of the greatest secrets in human history has been hiding in plain sight? What if thousands of years ago, giants once walked across the earth? At first, this might sound like something from mythology, but stories about giants appear again and again in ancient cultures all around the world, from religious texts to ancient legends to mysterious historical discoveries. Different civilizations, separated by oceans and thousands of years, all described something very similar: enormous human-like beings. Beings taller, stronger, and more powerful than ordinary humans. And here is where the mystery becomes truly fascinating. Many of these civilizations never had contact with each other, yet they all told stories about giants. Some ancient writings even describe giants as warriors, rulers, and builders of massive structures. So this raises an important question. Were giants simply mythical creatures created by imagination? Or could these stories be distant memories of something that once existed long ago? And if giants truly did live on Earth, what happened to them? Today, we explore one of the most mysterious questions in human history. Did giants once walk this planet? And if they did, why did they disappear? To understand this mystery, we first need to look at the stories left behind by ancient civilizations. Stories about giants appear in some of the oldest civilizations known to humanity. Thousands of years ago, people from completely different parts of the world described enormous human-like beings. These beings were said to be much taller and far stronger than ordinary humans. In many legends, giants were powerful warriors. In others, they were rulers, builders, or mysterious figures connected to the ancient world. These stories were passed down through generations, from storytellers to ancient writings to legends that survived for thousands of years. But the strangest part of all is this: many of the cultures telling these stories never had contact with each other, yet they all described giants. And this raises another question: where did these stories come from? To understand that, we need to look at some of the most famous ancient texts.
One of the most well-known references to giants appears in ancient religious writings. In the Bible, mysterious beings known as the Nephilim are mentioned. They are described as powerful figures who lived before a great flood that changed the world. Some interpretations describe them as giants, warriors of incredible strength and size. For centuries, historians and scholars have debated what these descriptions really mean. Were they symbolic stories meant to teach lessons, or could they be based on real individuals whose unusual height made them appear almost supernatural? The truth remains uncertain. But the Bible is not the only place where stories of giants appear. Ancient mythology also tells similar stories. In Greek mythology, enormous beings known as the Titans once ruled the world. These powerful figures were said to exist long before the Olympian gods. The Titans were often described as gigantic and incredibly strong. According to legend, they fought epic battles that shaped the ancient world. Today, many historians view these stories as symbolic myths, but they still raise an interesting question. Why did ancient cultures imagine beings of such enormous size? And Greek mythology is far from the only place where giants appear. Similar legends exist across the entire world.
Stories about giants can be found in ancient traditions from North America, Asia, and Europe. Some Native American legends describe enormous beings who lived long before modern tribes. In parts of Asia, ancient stories speak of towering figures who possessed incredible strength. Even in Europe, old folklore describes giants building massive stone structures or shaping landscapes. What makes these stories fascinating is how similar they are. Different cultures, different continents, different time periods. Yet the same idea appears again and again: giants. But if these stories were only myths, why do some historical records describe strange discoveries that seem to support them? During the 19th and early 20th centuries, newspapers sometimes reported unusual archaeological discoveries. Some articles described enormous human-like skeletons found during excavations. According to these reports, some skeletons appeared much larger than the average human skeleton. In certain cases, newspapers even claim the remains belonged to individuals over 3 meters tall. Stories like these quickly captured public attention. But there was one problem. Most of these discoveries were never properly documented.
Because of this, many historians and scientists remain skeptical. Without clear photographs, measurements, or scientific research, it is difficult to confirm such discoveries. Some experts believe the stories were exaggerated by newspapers trying to attract readers. Others believe the discoveries may have been misunderstood entirely. And this leads to another possible explanation. Perhaps the bones were never human at all.
Many prehistoric animals had enormous skeletons. Creatures like mammoths and other extinct animals had bones far larger than human bones. Without modern scientific tools, early explorers may have misidentified these remains. A large prehistoric bone could easily be mistaken for part of a giant human skeleton. If that happened, the story of a giant discovery would quickly spread, and over time, the legend would grow even larger. Science may offer another explanation for how these giant stories began.
Modern medicine recognizes a rare condition known as gigantism. Gigantism occurs when the body produces too much growth hormone during childhood. This causes a person to grow far taller than the average human height. Although the condition is extremely rare, it proves that unusual human height is scientifically possible. And throughout history, there have been individuals who reached extraordinary heights.
Some people with gigantism have grown taller than 2.5 meters. In ancient times, a person of that height would appear incredibly unusual. Without medical knowledge to explain the condition, people might have believed they were seeing a giant. A single individual with extraordinary height could easily become the center of legends. And as stories were retold across generations, the details might become more dramatic. Over centuries, these stories could slowly transform. A very tall person might become a giant. A powerful individual might become a legendary warrior. And eventually, the original story might be remembered as the tale of an entire race of giants. But even if giants once existed in some form, another question remains. Why did they disappear? If giants once lived among humans, several theories attempt to explain why they vanished. Life in the ancient world was extremely difficult. Food was limited. Natural disasters were common, and survival often depended on physical endurance. Large bodies require more food and energy. This means giants may have struggled to survive during difficult times.
Another theory suggests that giants slowly mixed with normal human populations. If individuals with extraordinary height had children with average humans, their descendants would likely be closer to normal height. Over many generations, the traits responsible for extreme height might slowly fade, and eventually, the giants themselves could disappear.
If this happened gradually over thousands of years, the giants might leave behind only stories. Stories preserved in myths, ancient texts, and legends. But even today, the mystery is not completely solved.
Modern science has found no clear evidence that an entire race of giants once lived on Earth. Most historians believe the stories are simply myths or symbolic tales. Yet the similarities between ancient legends remain difficult to ignore. Why did so many different cultures imagine the same type of being?
Why do stories of giants appear across continents and throughout history? Are they simply products of imagination? Or could they be echoes of forgotten events from the distant past? For now, the mystery remains unsolved, but the stories of giants continue to capture human curiosity. Perhaps one day, new discoveries will reveal the truth. Until then, the question remains, did giants once walk the earth?